What's up, YouTube? It's been a long time since I last made a video, almost a year now, but I wanted to give you guys a quick update and make a better version of my previous video on how to land an SEO job. This is really a video geared more towards getting that second, third, or maybe even your fourth job. What's great about getting your second, third, and fourth jobs is that not only are you going to have obviously a better paying job, but you're typically going to have more leverage at this point, and I'll go through that in a bit. So I'm actually going to share my exact resume that landed me my current position. I only work 30 hours a week, salaried, make 77K, and I turned down jobs that actually paid me 10K more. The reason I did was because I started my own business on the side, right? This company did not require a non compete. Plus, we only work 30 hours a week. It's a very modern company. They believe in work life balance and so on and so forth. So, I want you guys to get to this position to where you're able to pick and choose your career jobs. And I'm going to walk you through some talking points that are definitely going to help you out in your interviewing process. All right, so at this point, I'm assuming you guys already have your entry level job and you're probably in your first salary job or maybe your second, right? So from this point on, I really recommend you guys continue applying every 6 months to 8 months, right? You can absolutely make over 75K within 8 months of starting in digital marketing, right? How do you do this? Well, you expedite your experience, right? A home builder that builds 100 homes in 3 years can essentially have the same experience as a home builder that builds those exact 100 homes in 2 years, right? You're just doing more work to catch up uh, for that lack of time experience, right? So by freelancing, you actually expedite your knowledge. You start learning more than somebody that only knows a standard set of processes from the company they work at, right? I'll go through that in a bit. So, whenever you're talking about interviewing or whenever you're building your resume for that second and third job, it's all going to be about the results you've provided, right? Two things that are very important: results and communication. If you want to make six figures or more in digital marketing, you're going to have a client facing role. The most important thing for agencies is client retention. So if you're able to demonstrate that, hey, I'm a great communicator, I retain clients, I love communication, people are instantly going to look at your resume over someone else's, right? That's typically an agency's biggest pain point. A client will leave you for a lack of communication over a lack of results, if that makes sense, right? Obviously, you want to give them great results, but if you just simply don't communicate at all, you're going to lose them, right? If you're constantly keeping up with them, you can honestly, provide mediocre results, and they'll just stay with you because they're happy that you're talking to them. So, talk about how great you are at communication, and talk about your uh, conversion rates, your value that you provided for the companies you've worked at. I'll, like I said, show you my resume here in a bit. So you're going to want to expedite your knowledge. Sorry, I kind of got startled. You're going to want to expedite your knowledge through freelancing and your own personal internship experiences, right? So I actually started my own side hustle about a year ago, and now I have a good amount of clients. I make almost half of what I make at my company through my own personal business needs, right? Personal business ventures, and that has allowed me a lot of experience. It's allotted me a lot of experience. Honestly, during this last interview round, I actually blew away a couple of interview managers simply by providing different solutions to their current problems. As I mentioned before, most agencies are only going to know their standard operating, I'm sorry, most employees are only going to know their standard operating procedures based off of what they learn at the company. So if somebody's been working at company X for 5 years, and he's only been in marketing for 5 years, chances are everything he knows he learned from that company. And everything that company taught them may not be right, right? It may be old, outdated. I actually work for a company that's still keyword stuffed, that massively keyword stuffed. So if you're able to provide different ways to do things, you're instantly going to blow people away. I actually had a perfect example of this. One of my marketing managers that was interviewing me, actually started pulling out notes as I was providing solutions to their problems, right? So definitely leverage your own experience uh, in these interviews. It's really going to blow them away. Now, the very next thing, you guys are going to want to optimize your LinkedIn account, right? I'll actually share mine at the bottom. I get offers for jobs paying between, 60, 75K all the time. I get like half a dozen of these a month. I normally just pass them on to friends of mine that I know are struggling and are looking to get higher paying jobs. Just because I'm great in my current position. I actually negotiated out of a non compete. My owner knows that I freelance on the side. For me, being able to still work was really important. I was willing to take a pay cut considering I was making an additional $2,000 to $3,000 through my own side hustle, right? So I could afford to give up a little bit on salary. I just didn't want to sign a non compete. Now that's another thing. Please do not sign a non compete, guys. Avoid it at all costs. Luckily, at every single company I've ever worked for, I brought it up, especially with COVID, right? With COVID being around, companies wanted me to sign a non-compete, and I said, "Hey, honestly, I have no job security, right? I mean, if the company struggles, we're gonna get let go, and I'm not gonna let go of my clients just to work for you guys." And luckily, I've been able to negotiate out of every single non-compete. Most of the agency owners understand, as they did the same, as they were building their agency. So please avoid any non-compete. Read everything you sign, talk to your professional attorneys, and please avoid that. Right? It's just a headache you guys want to avoid. It's a worry that you guys are going to want to avoid. Right? It may or may not be enforceable depending on your legal advice, but it's just better just not to sign any. And like I said, most of the times you'll be able to negotiate out of them. As you guys can see, I get a good amount of these recruiters coming at me with jobs in different pay ranges, and it's great because that's something I never had before. And I want you guys to be in that space as well. I want you guys to experience the same kind of success, the same kind of attraction, right? For these jobs, I want you guys to attract these kinds of jobs. My bad. Originally, when you're starting off, you're not going to have much leverage. You're not going to be able to um, uh, look appetizing for these recruiters. But after about 6, 7 months of you actually building experience, the recruiters are just going to start coming in. So I was going to walk you guys through my LinkedIn. If you guys want, you guys can look me up and literally take as much information as you guys feel and add it to yours. I really don't care. I just want you guys to win. But I figured it's more important for me to go through my resume, as that's really what's going to separate you from everyone else. You can really just take your resume information and just slap it on your LinkedIn, and you're going to blow people away, right? Now, another thing, I want you guys to have a strict timeline for your success in marketing. So I don't want you guys to be at a company for more than 6, 7 months, right? Um, you can absolutely get a job paying you between 45 and 55K after about 3 months, right? So I want you to find an internship. If you have absolutely no experience, be there for about 3 to 4 months, begin applying. The best time to look for a job is when you already have one. And then after about 8 months, I want you guys to start applying for those higher level jobs, right? Now, what do I mean by higher level? One, these jobs are going to give you more freedom, right? Like in my case, I only work 30 hours and I make a good salary that allows me to continue working on my business. Or two, this is really when you're going to want to choose, hey, do I want to make a career out of it, or do I want to potentially branch out and freelance, right? If you want to make a career out of it, you can absolutely keep climbing up the ladder. And these higher paying jobs are going to be paying you, north of 6 figures. Most of these, manager or marketing manager positions are going to be in the 6 figure range. There will be a lot of front facing work. So you will be talking a lot to clients. So it may not be something, if you're like an introvert, don't like talking to people, but keep in mind the higher paying jobs in marketing all require some front facing skills. So keep that in mind, guys. All right, guys, I'm not sure if you're able to see this, but this is my resume that I used to land the exact job I have. Notice how at the top I have a quick little summary, marketing professional with 2+ years of experience. Include all the time that you use learning marketing as your experience, right? So, like, let's say you've been in marketing for 2, 3 years. Uh, that you learned marketing 4 or 5 years ago, include all of that as your marketing experience, right? It doesn't have to be the actual time that you've actually been working. It can be the time that you spent learning, right? So absolutely include that in your experience. Now, notice how I talk about conversion rates and ROIs. That's really what blows people away. Next, you're going to want to talk about your experience. As you can see, my SEO intern experience is a lot different than my recent account manager experience, right? It doesn't have to be anything too out of the ordinary, too uh, heavy. People really just want to know quickly, hey, does this guy know how to provide results? What has he done in the past? And then you're going to get the call. Once you get the call, that's really what's going to enable you to blow them away. The resume, it's just about getting the interview. Once you land the interview, you blow them away with your knowledge and skill set, right? Communication skills. Now, for your education, if you didn't go to college like me, you can always say, hey, I took some courses. I did take some courses in marketing at a community college near me, but I never actually took quote unquote accredited hours. And then include your certifications at the bottom. I will be including this at the bottom as soon as I figure out how to add this as a doc for you guys to use. Please take as much information as you can. Like I said, I want you guys to win. I do not care if you literally take my bullet points verbatim, right? Like, I do not care. I just want you guys to win. Ask me any questions you have below. If you guys would love to see another beginner digital marketing video, let me know. I will be posting more client results in the very near future. So with that, I'll be ending this video. Have a great rest of your day. And like I said, email me or leave messages below if you have any questions.